Ibu, tolong. Ibu, ini keadaan Ibu sekarang.
Mount Merapi, an active volcano in West Sumatra province, violently erupted yesterday, sending plumes of ash and volcanic debris over 3 kilometers into the air. This sudden volcanic eruption has resulted in tragic loss of life and widespread panic. At least 11 climbers have lost their lives so far. The bodies of these hikers were recovered earlier today, along with 3 climbers who were successfully rescued. Meanwhile, 12 remain missing. Roughly 75 hikers were climbing to the 9,480-foot mountain when the volcano erupted, of which at least 49 have been safely evacuated. According to reports, search and rescue efforts have been hampered by continued volcanic activity in the area, forcing authorities to suspend operations temporarily for safety reasons. However, other reports indicate that the operations are underway. 160 rescuers are working to locate the 12 missing climbers. Their safety and evacuation remains a top priority for the rescuers. 8 climbers were rescued yesterday, while 3 more were saved today. They were rushed to hospitals to be treated for burns. One of the climbers even had a broken limb. The survivors are being treated at 2 hospitals in Padang Panjang and Bukit Tinggi. Social media visuals showed the hikers with their faces smeared with volcanic dust and rain.
Heavy rains, gusty winds, waterlogged roads. Chennai and its suburbs are bracing for cyclone Migjom. The cyclone is expected to make landfall between Nellore and Machilipatnam in southern Andhra Pradesh by Tuesday noon. But the rains that precede the landfall have brought Tamil Nadu's capital city down on its knees. Many residential areas are inundated. Citizens could be seen wading through knee-deep water. Cars floated like boats on waterlogged stretch.
We are currently reporting from outside the Chennai Corporation headquarters, and very interesting and very concerning. In fact, you can see how the Chennai Corporation building itself is flooded. You can see the kind of water levels. Just look at those cars. So you can imagine the kind of water levels that are there at this point in time. And this is the Chennai Corporation headquarters. So you can imagine the rest of the city as well, how flooded it must be. And that is what is the real concern at this point in time. There's just no respite from rains. It's been pounding heavily in Chennai and the neighbouring districts of Chennai.
Water entered 2 government hospitals in Krompet area and Chennai, affecting healthcare services. Heavy downpour impacted traffic in the city. Operations at the Chennai International Airport were affected. Several flights were cancelled and many flights diverted. The Met Department has predicted heavy rains for Chennai and adjoining regions for 24 hours. The National Disaster Response Force teams have been rushed to the landfall area. Over 21 teams are deployed to Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Puducherry. 8 teams are on standby. Over 18,000 police personnel are on the ground in Chennai. Medical response teams are on standby for any emergency.
A pregnant woman is dead, several others hurt after a powerful earthquake struck the southern Philippines. This happened Saturday night. The 7.6 earthquake created a series of powerful aftershocks yesterday, causing widespread panic and chaos. The two aftershocks measured 6.6 and 6.9. Authorities in Japan have issued evacuation orders for the Okinawa prefecture and the entire coastal area.
You've probably heard the news that there was an earthquake of 7.7 magnitude here in the Philippines, and we live in Mindanao. We're a British family that moved here about 3.5 years ago, and we live on an island called Siargao, a little bit further north from the epicenter. But the aftershocks from that earthquake have not stopped for a whole 2.5 days. If you look at our earthquake app that we've been tracking, you can see that there was no seismic activity going on at all, really, in the Mindanao region before the 7.7 hit 2 nights ago. And then since then, we've had constant shocks that have been over 5 magnitude, literally every hour. You can see when you scroll through how many shocks have been happening in the Mindanao area since that time.
This year saw fires, heat waves and floods around the world. And it's ending with a heat wave spanning half of Australia. 2023 has shown the rapidly warming future climate scientists have warned us about is well and truly here.
We've been warning about these sorts of changes and these sorts of rates of warming for really the last 20, 30 years. So it's really no surprise that we are hitting these global warming thresholds.
Now the European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service declared 2023 the hottest year on record, a month ahead of schedule. The lines on this chart show how much each year since the 1940s has been warmer or cooler than the average from before the Industrial Revolution. This year, every month since June has broken records. Until now, 2016 was the hottest year, but 2023 has so far smashed that record and brought the Earth a hair's breadth from the 1.5 degree warming limit the world agreed to in 2015.
When the Paris Agreement was put together, it was considered a safe level of global warming. But we've basically reached that level in less than a decade.
The El Niño weather pattern has contributed to those temperatures, but it's only been in full swing for a few months, leaving the burning of fossil fuels largely to blame.
The IPCC findings are quite clear that to stabilise for climate at any level requires reaching net zero emissions.
Well, I mean, we've had the hottest day, we've had the hottest month, we've had the hottest week, we've had the hottest month after the hottest month, and that underpins the need for more action. We can't wait domestically, we can't wait internationally.
The results come as the UN COP28 climate talks in Dubai enter their second week. Key on that agenda is whether to phase out coal, oil and gas or not. A question made all the more urgent by this extraordinary heat record.